Hi team, we run Coach Alexa here, coach for Reading, South Oxfordshire and online. I wanted to share, as we kind of come to the end of the, big road race season with marathons and half marathons, a technique that I use to help both myself and the runners that I work with review the races or the events or the goals that they've been working towards. Many moons ago, before I started this amazing job, I worked in project management. And one of the things that we used to sort of regularly do as a team was do what's called a retrospective. So versions of 3 questions to just sit down and ponder on. And I quite like doing this in conversation with my runners, or for myself, I like a bit of a pen and paper in my training diary. So the first question is, what went well? Spend a good few minutes on, noting down all the things that went well. Now that might have been on the race itself, in the build-up, in training, stuff that you did well and are going to do again. We have a tendency, as the memory fades post-race, to maybe think back either with rose-tinted or with more negative glasses. So I think it's a really nice place to start with making a little bit of a note of what went well. So that might be the training that you did. It might be, focusing on sleep in the days before the race. It might have been pacing or nutrition or mindset or kit, anything and everything that you think went well around that race. The next one is a question around what didn't go so well. What are the things that, maybe didn't go as perfectly as you would have liked? So at the weekend just gone, a few races were a little bit hotter than people would have liked, I think it's safe to say. So that might be something that goes in that list. So things that didn't quite go as well as you'd hoped. And again, just a little bit of a note down of a few of those. And then for me, the key question leading on from what didn't go quite as well as you'd hoped is, what might you change? So some of those things are, not controllable, like the weather, like I mentioned. Not something that we can really control particularly well. We might be able to, do something slightly differently though, by making sure we take on enough water, or reminding ourselves to take an electrolyte drink with us for another race on a sunnier day. So, and then another little list of things that you might change. I would say for the, what didn't go quite so well and things you might change, maybe pick on 2 or 3 key things that you're going to really remember and change and adapt going forwards. If there are more, great, but we're looking for the big wins. We're not trying to berate ourselves here, just thinking about 2 or 3 key things. If you think, actually, if I'd done that a little bit differently, or if I changed that, then maybe my race day, would have felt a little bit easier or a little bit more manageable. So what went well is the key one. Really nice to give us some positive feedback. What didn't go quite so well? Are there some things, that maybe it would have been brilliant if they'd gone differently? And that sort of learning element is, what would I have changed? If I'd go back and either prepare for or run that race again, what might I have tweaked? Because every experience like this, everything we do in life is an opportunity for kind of learning, for iterating, for changing things, tweaking things. So it's a nice way just to take a few minutes, 10-15 minutes with a cup of tea or sat out in the garden, piece of paper, and reflect on those 3 questions. And it's also a nice opportunity to think about all the things that you did go well and did go right, because, the chances of everything going perfectly in training and prior to the race and on race day are pretty slim, aren't they? There's lots of things, lots of variables, some of which we can control, many of which we can't. So I hope that's useful. Nice little strategy just for reviewing, recapping the race and the prep that you've done for it, and using that as a positive experience to build towards whatever next goal you might have. Happy running.